Hello and welcome into the Jet Report on a Monday, November 14th. What is going on? I am Matt O'Leary, going to be hanging out with you for the next little bit here. The bye week is officially in the rear view. Oh my goodness gracious. Did I miss our New York Jets this past week? Isn't that crazy? I had a nice time. I had a great weekend, went away a little bit out east on Long Island, spent some time out in Riverhead and the Hamptons. It was great. It was really, really fun to just for a day and a half. It wasn't even like a long thing, like a day and a half, just a mental reset. And then on Sunday, meander my way back to Nassau County, and I watched the Bills lose to the Vikings, and I found myself saying, "Damn, I miss my football team." So we're back. It's Patriots week. Going to have a ton of coverage for the game coming up against the New England Patriots. But today, what I wanted to focus on was the updated playoff picture, specifically in the AFC. Now, also, just so you know, you could become a member to support the channel. In order to do that, you just hit the join button down below. Any super chat you send will jump the line. So if you want to get your question answered, you could send a super chat and it'll bump it right up to the top. Subscribe to Matt O'Leary NY Extra for bonus content, for clips, and a whole lot of fun over there. And subscribe to the Jet Report, whether it be right here or in podcast form. Appreciate it, guys. So let's hop into it, shall we? Let's get into all the fun and do that right now by pulling up an updated look at the AFC standings. Right now, the Kansas City Chiefs are the 1 seed. They are 7-2. Things you just absolutely love to see for them, 7-2. And I love to see it because everyone, at least myself, I really thought the Buffalo Bills would be up here, and they were for a while, but here's where things get wonky. They are 7-2. Their next opponent is the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs, excuse me. Their next opponent is the Los Angeles Chargers. And they are in first place in the 1 seed. Then you have the Miami Dolphins, who overtook the Buffalo Bills on Sunday as they beat the Browns in week 10. Would it have been nice for the Browns to win? Absolutely. That would have put the Jets in the number 2 spot right now and leading the AFC East and have them as the number 2 seed. But more on why it's going to be okay in a second here. As for the Tennessee Titans, they are the 3. The Baltimore Ravens are the 4. Jets on the bye, they stay at 5 at 6-3. The Bills fall to the 6th seed at 6-3. The Patriots are now, they are 5-4, but they move up to the 7th seed. They jump ahead of the Los Angeles Chargers, who lost to the 49ers to fall out on the bubble. So right now, technically, all 4 teams in the AFC East are in the playoffs. If the season were to end today, it'd be Jets, Ravens, Bills, Titans, and Patriots, Dolphins in the first round of the playoffs. And teams like the Chargers and the Bengals are going to be on the outside looking in. Now, do I necessarily think that the Bills are going to stay down here? Probably not, but at the same time, it's the NFL and weird things happen. It's a very strange season, and the AFC is absolutely up for grabs. Now, why this is an okay thing that the Dolphins won is they are on the bye in week 11, so they will be 7-3 at the end of week 11, no matter what happens, because obviously they're not playing a game. But if the Jets beat the New England Patriots and improve to 7-3, with the Patriots then dropping to 5-5, which is a nice double whammy. You improve your own record and you knock down a team like the Patriots who are in your own division. That would move the Jets up to the division leader. The Jets would be in first place if they are able to beat the New England Patriots on Sunday, because they beat the Dolphins. They already beat the Bills. So the Jets are ahead of the Bills right now because they're both 6-3, and the Jets won the head-to-head. Obviously, they get them again in a few weeks. But outside of the bye, the Jets find themselves in a pretty nice spot. Obviously, I don't think anyone would have expected them to be in this spot. I know I certainly didn't. But expectations have changed. If the Jets find a way to go 5-3 over their last 8 games, which is about on par for what they were. They did that through their first 8. Through 9 games, they're 6-3. That would put them at 11-6 for the season. That is a pretty good spot to be in a playoff position. I think 10 wins will get you in. I think 10 will get you in, but it would be more of a positioning battle. For the Jets, they have every opportunity to move up there in the AFC East, which is it's tremendous how wide open it is right now. Dolphins at 7-3, Jets and Bills at 6-3, Patriots at 5-4. Pats in last in the AFC East right now. And that's another reason why you want to beat up on New England if you are the New York Jets, because you want them to continue to be on the bottom. The Jets have so many demons to exercise against this team. The Pats have owned them. The Jets haven't won on the road in New England since the playoffs in the 2010 season. They haven't won on the road in the regular season there since 2008 when Brett Favre was the quarterback, and we know the last time they beat them just in general was 2015 Week 16, the Eric Decker overtime game. So it's been an incredibly, incredibly, incredibly long time, long overdue. The Jets played them tough the first time. They had a very poor quarterback performance from Zach Wilson. There was some penalties that were borderline questionable. So we will obviously be keeping an eye on all of that, but the playoff picture here, there's your updated look. The Jets just have to continue to win games, take care of business, control what you can control, and you got to really like the area where the Jets are right now. So with that, let's get into the comments for today's show. We'll go through your comment section. So get in any questions, comments, concerns that you got. Jason Ratcliffe says, let's go Jets, Jets. Haven't been this excited since Rex Ryan's teams actually have a shot at the division title. Huge game this week. Yep, that's exactly what we were talking about at the top of this show here, is how, while it may seem unlikely, there is absolutely a shot and there is a path to an AFC East crown. The Jets haven't won the AFC East since 2002. They haven't played a home playoff game since 2002. They made the playoffs a decent amount, obviously not since 2010, but 04, 06, 9, 10. That's 4 times, in the mid to late 2000s era. And guess what? They were able to win some big playoff games on the road, but none of them happened at home. My generation's fondest memories of the Jets is the 2009 and 2010 run. And they were the road warriors, winning against the Indianapolis Colts, winning against the New England Patriots, the then San Diego Chargers, and obviously the Cincinnati Bengals in the playoffs. All those games came on the road. And in 2004, they beat San Diego on the road too. So that was twice that they got the Chargers on the road there. JK says, I want to win this Pats game more than a fat kid wants Carvel. That sounds pretty enticing. I too want to win this one bad. I wanted the last one really badly. But this one, you got to get, now it's the revenge, right? You see Zach Wilson improved last week after a really bad performance against New England. If he can play well again on the road in New England, I think the Jets have a great shot. They almost won that game with a brutal performance from Zach. So I think that they have every reason to believe that they could win the game. That everyone talks about, Bill Belichick's coming off the bye though, but so are the Jets. And last year off the bye, Bill Belichick lost to the Indianapolis Colts. So it's not an impossible task. Yes, it's going to be I think it's going to be a hard fought game. I'm not saying the Jets are going to blow them out, but can the Jets win 24-17? Can they win 23-14, something like that? I think so. With how this defense is playing, and let's be real here, the Patriots their offense hasn't really given you a whole lot, and the Jets defense has been really good. If the Jets offense, if they just don't melt down, I think they'll be fine. GameCube for Life says, watching on my phone while walking my dog through Somerset County in the UK. Wow, love the show. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for letting me know. I love that. We're watching on your phone over in the UK. Gotta love technology in today's world that you're able to do that. Thanks for hanging out with us here today. Junior Rudy says, Vikings did us a favor. Skull. We were all doing this yesterday, right? I know I was. What a wild game. That was one of the craziest games I've ever seen. As JK chimes in and says, that Bills Viking games is in the top 10 of best games I've ever seen. How about that catch from Stephon Diggs? I can't believe he came down with that football. He is unbelievable. He is an unbelievable talent. That was one of the best catches I've ever seen in my entire life. Entire life. Jason says, I hate that they put the Dolphins in first place only because they played more games. Well, they have a better win percentage. A 7-3 record has a better win percentage than a 6-3 win percentage. That's all. Jets win with the Chiefs and Titans loss would make the Jets the 1 seed in the AFC. Is that crazy? That's nuts. Justin's hanging out with us. What's up, Justin? He says, I wasn't even watching the Jets yet in 2002. Uncharted territory here for sure. That was the year before I got into it. 2003. I was 8 years old. That's when I really that's when I claimed my fandom, was the 2003 season. That's when I really knew what was going on at that point. I was young in 2002. Obviously, I was around, but I didn't really get it and wasn't as emotionally invested in the team as I was from about the following year onward. I could tell you pretty much anything from that point onwards. And shout out to Justin. We have him. We're featuring Justin in a video tomorrow, so hopefully you guys tune in for that. It's unlikely, as Junio says, it's unlikely, but it's something to think about. Yeah, it's isn't that crazy? The Jets as a potential 1 seed. What are the odds? Billy SBC says, and if the Jets lose on Sunday, they will be in the basement of the AFC East. That's how fast things can change. I guess so. Yes. Unless are the Bills playing next week or are they on the bye? I don't know. Who are the Bills playing next week? I think like the Lions, maybe something like that. Let's look it up right now because I don't remember off the top of my head. I should know. I should know better, but I don't. I'm going to be honest with you. No, Cleveland and then the break and then the Vikings. So we're all going to be rooting for and then the Lions, excuse me. We're all going to be rooting for Cleveland again this upcoming week, and they let us down last week. They got stomped out by the Miami Dolphins, but the Jets will have their shot at Miami again. Oh no, my ice cream. What's up, man? He says, oh man, finally able to catch the report live. Thank the heavens for Justin Jefferson. He's the best wide receiver in the league without a doubt. Yeah, I don't know how someone could debate that Justin Jefferson isn't the best wide receiver in football after that performance yesterday. Even like, yes, that catch was unbelievable. That was by far the biggest highlight, maybe the best catch I've ever seen. But he is targeted 16 times in the game, 10 catches, 193 receiving yards, and a touchdown. Baller effort. He is absolutely unbelievable. In 9 games, he has over 1,000 yards already. He has 4 receiving touchdowns on the year. Oh, and by the way, he's only 23 years old. He is still only 23. He is a special, special, special talent. There we go. Same year for me, bro. Jetskins on Thursday Night Football was my first game. Wow. Jason says 2003. Wow, I'm old. I started following every game in 85. There you go. Wonder who's older, myself or Green Belt. You mean Green Bean? Green Bean's older. He's got you by a few years. JK says, what if the Bills just drafted Jay Jettas instead of trading for Diggs? Would they be better? Would Josh Allen turn out the same development wise? One of the few both team wins trade. Yeah, I look, obviously, I think what Stephon Diggs did for the Buffalo Bills and for Josh Allen. Yes, Justin Jefferson is a crazy special talent and is unbelievable. But as you say, I think if both teams had the opportunity, they would do the same things over again. Because the Vikings, they got an absolute star at a cost controlled price. And for the Bills, they got the already established receiver. I mean, drafting a 21-year-old wide receiver and asking him to pop right away is difficult. It's not something that's very very easy to do. Um, but he's done it, and hopefully the Jets get that out of Garrett Wilson. But yeah, I agree 1000%. I think this is a trade that both teams make 10 out of 10 times. I think you could honestly say both fan bases and both organizations are very very happy with the outcome. Steven says, "How confident do you feel we can split the next 4 games?" I'm pretty confident that that's the outcome. It's on the road at New England, against Chicago, at Minnesota, at Buffalo. Um, I think the Jets go 2 and 2. I think they beat New England and Chicago. I'll have them lose to Minnesota and Buffalo. Can they beat Minnesota? Yes. Can they beat Buffalo? Obviously, they already did it once, but I think sweeping Buffalo would be an incredibly, incredibly tall task. That team is different in their own building than they are on the road. And Minnesota, you got to give them respect for beating Buffalo. Again? Can the Jets beat Minnesota? Absolutely. I think they can hang with any single team in the NFL with this defense, but I'll take 2 and 2, and then you have games against Detroit and Jacksonville after that, which I'd imagine you got to take care of business in both those games. So I'm confident that they could do it. John says the biggest thing that makes me happy about this Jets team is that they have arguably the most talented slash youngest core that will keep them in contention for a while. Yeah, that's the fun of it, right? Is that this is a young, enjoyable team and they're growing together. And yes, sometimes there are growing pains. I think a big one was against the New England Patriots just a couple of weeks ago, where we saw the young quarterback meltdown in the game. But you know what? He bounced back nicely. There were some big time throws that were made in the Buffalo game in big spots, and they're winning. They're a fun team. Yeah, Steven says 2 and 2. I thought the same, which means we have to start this stretch with a win in Foxborough. Absolutely. I think that's why if getting one against the Patriots is so important. Winning divisional games matters. They are 2 and 1 in the division right now. Getting to 3 and 1 would be huge. And then if you could somehow finish 4 and 2 in the division, I think you absolutely sign up for that. Jay Nasty says, we definitely need to win Detroit and Jacksonville. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I don't know how you can be a playoff team and not beat those teams in your own building. I think you have to. I like this point here from Justin. We're a big problem for Minnesota with how we play defense helps to play indoors that week. That's a good point. And I do think that the Jets offense will be able to put up some points on Minnesota. Again, I wouldn't be stunned if the Jets went in there and pulled an upset win, because it would be an upset. Minnesota would be favorites in that game, but I think the Jets could hang with them. And who knows? They've won games that I thought they were going to lose this year, and they've lost games that I thought they were going to win this year. So they've been a very hard team to clamp down on. And like I said, I think they can beat Minnesota. If I were to do my predictions the rest of the way, I have the Jets losing 3 more times, losing to Minnesota, uh, Buffalo, and Miami in the final week of the year. I have them beating New England, Chicago, Detroit, Jacksonville, and Seattle to get to 11 and 6, which I think 11 and 6 would be a great season, and more than likely a wild card spot. Jason says, I'm sure Sal and the boys know just how big this week's game is to the franchise. Coin Flip says we lose this game and still make noise later, but I think this game will determine the future trajectory. Yeah, if you follow the Coin Flip game, the Coin Flip sheet, the Jets are going to lose the next 2, but they're going to sweep Buffalo. I've loved that it's been right 9 weeks of the year. I don't think that's the case. Steven asks, what's the tiebreakers for the division? Is it head-to-head or divisional record in case it gets to that? I would imagine it's here. Let's find out. I believe it's the divisional record, because unless you're 2-0 against that specific team, that'd be really tough. NFL division tiebreakers. Let's learn this together. Head-to-head. Okay, head-to-head is 1. And then division is 2. So head to head first, and then division record is the second thing after that. So if they go one, let's say they split, right? 1 and 1, that'd be the same. Then the divisional record would be the next deciding factor. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, let me share this on screen, because I see some obviously we were asking about it. So this is from NFL.com. Let's pull this up. 2 clubs, head to head between the 2 clubs. Best win loss tied percentage in the games played within division. Best win in the common games, and then it's conference after that. Strength of victory in all games, strength of schedule in all games. Uh, and then if it all gets all the way down to 12, it's a coin toss. I don't think it'll get it's not gonna get that far. But yeah, head to head's most important, followed by games played in the division. John is predicting 5-3 down the stretch. Miami in week 18 scares the crap out of me, though. That offense is legit. Defensively, they are incredibly beatable. Defensively, they give up points. They give up a ton of points. Here, let's pull. That's another thing I'll pull up here. Obviously, this past week they didn't really do. There really wasn't a giving up a ton of points. They gave up 17. But in weeks gone by before that, let's let's get that cooking. 32, 27, 10, 24, 40, 27, 38, 19. They are 22nd in the league in points against, 22. So that's obviously not great. They beat up on the Browns with just 17. Not great quarterback. The Steelers, that was obviously tough for them. They're starting Kenny Pickett at that time, but pretty much anyone with a quarterback, except for the Buffalo game where they held Josh Allen and the Bills to 19, but Lamar and the Ravens up over 30. The Bengals put up 27, Jets 40, Vikings 24, Lions 27, Bears 32. So I think the Jets could score in the high 20s in that game. And if they do, then you just hope their defense plays like how they have, and then you should theoretically be in good shape. This game, Good Citizen says, this game will 100% determine our season. That's a great point. I think it really does. Steve says, how do you feel Bill Belichick approaches this game with us, Matt? Seems like ZW really settled down versus Buffalo, but can he limit the turnover trends he's had with them? Yeah. So my best guess would be that he is going to try uh, to blitz, to blitz them, which he did, and he got a ton of pressure on Zach Wilson. What Mike LaFleur and Zach did a really nice job of in the Buffalo game was they were getting the ball out of his hands quick. It was one read, boom, hit him. Get the guy in space and get him to go. Um, my thing would be try to establish a run game, which I think the Jets can do that. And then beyond that, getting the ball out of his hands quick, get the ball to guys in space. Garrett Wilson had a monster game. There's no reason you can't get Elijah Moore involved. It's time. Oh, we got a super chat. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Steven says, thanks, Matt. Last one, and I'll get back to work. Love it. Gut feeling with everything you know today. If the Jets could get the first wild card and face Baltimore, Tennessee on the road, you think we could pull out a win? I do. I genuinely do. I think the Jets match up well against Tennessee. And I know they lost to them in week 1 with the Baltimore Ravens, but this Jets team looks different from week 4 onward. The first 3 games of the year, one, the defense wasn't playing nearly the same level. The offense with Joe Flacco was very different. They obviously are very run heavy offense now. Um, I am confident that they could win a game on the road. I think the Jets can hang with anyone, and I'd like another shot at Baltimore, obviously, and I think they can beat Tennessee on the road. Thank you for hanging with us, Steven. Really appreciate it. King Jamie the Mad says, if the Jets don't win another game at all, I'm still happy for the turnaround. I think they'll win another game. I really do. JK says, I saw this film breakdown on Sauce earlier. The tackle on Jacoby Myers in the flat in the Pats game was an all instinct based off the smallest of head nods by Mac, which they have never done on film before. Interesting. Okay. I like that. Love to see that out of our guy. Thomas Cahill says all Zach has to do is step up in the safe zone. Yeah, step up in the pocket. Don't drift backwards. Good one, Thomas. That's a good point, too. Hennessy's hanging with us. What's up, man? Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? Can you imagine after week 3 before Zach came back? LOL. No. As you know, what I was just saying, man, this team is so different. From the week 3 Jets versus what the Jets look like now is completely different. Very different. VR Hidalgo's in with us. He said Jets win in division, but they get swept by the Pats or beat the Pats Sunday and make the playoffs as a wild card. What say you go? I'll take the winning the division. I want a home playoff game. They haven't had a home playoff game in legitimately 20 years. I'm 27. I was 7 years old the last time the Jets had a home playoff game. Matt O'Leary sitting in second grade the last time the Jets had a home playoff game. I didn't even learn cursive yet at that point. Give me the home playoff game. Yeah, Justin wants Baltimore again. I don't blame you. Don't blame me one bit. I know. Imagine if we had Brees. I wish. I wish. It stinks. It really stinks, but I think the Jets run game with Michael Carter and James Robinson is going to be fine. VR says we match up better with the Titans than the Ravens. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Thank you. King Jamie the Mad says you and Richie both have excellent channels. I appreciate that. Richie is fantastic. I know he was live earlier today. Always has quality stuff. John says, any concern about the Jets starting slower than normal due to the bye? I see why you might think that, but I think it's going to play into the Jets' favor because they have extra time to look at what they did wrong the last time out. Jay Nasty says if we get into the playoff, that's a Super Bowl win to me. There you go. JK is referencing Brett video on Sauce is already a top 5 corner. It's a great watch. You'll like it. Absolutely. I'm going to have to go back and find that. I'm not going to pull up on here. We're going to keep it rolling right now, but with the comments flowing in, but I will absolutely check out Brett's video. Thank you, Rico, for pointing that out. Justin says James Robinson down the stretch is going to be really key for us. I thought he got better as the game went on, and he'll get more comfortable. His play style will be a finisher for the offense with the lead. Yep, that's why you traded for him. That last drive the Jets had where they just ate the clock, and he got big chunk after big chunk, 100%. I'm with you, Justin. Dre says Jake Asman and Matt O'Leary back-to-back content. There we go. Another great Jets YouTuber, Jake Asman. Love it. James D says Bears fans want to come to MetLife. Come on and have fun. We're going to embarrass you guys. Ooh, I like that. Hennessy says home playoff game would be epic. It's been too long. It's been far too long. But the Jets, the last time they had a home playoff game, they blew out Peyton Manning and the Colts. Love it. Do they even teach cursive anymore? I don't think so. I don't think they do, which kind of shows that even I am getting up there in age as I approach 30. Oof, I don't like the sound of that. Oreo says, let's go. F the Bills. Browns let us down. They did. Anyways, what do you expect from this offense this week? We all remember the first 3 plays last year coming out of the bye against New England. Yeah, I think they're going to have a similar game plan to what they did against Buffalo. I think they ran the ball well. The offensive line really bullied the defensive line of the Buffalo Bills. And I think they're going to ask Zach to throw the ball 25 to 30 times and get the ball out of his hands quickly. Oh, I like this one. Dre says 12-5 will win the division, and it's really hard seeing our defense letting any team score big points on us. Therefore, who you see us losing to, I got the Jets taking the division. Yeah, that's a good point. The 3 losses I had were Miami, Buffalo, and Minnesota. Can they do better than 5-3? Of course they can. But that's what I'm going to keep my prediction at 5-3 and 11-6 season. I think everyone should be happy with that. Thomas says, should we stick with Herbig and Ogboye? I don't think Ogboye is going to stick. I think Max Mitchell comes back and starts. Herbig, yes, I think he's going to continue to start at right guard. He's been good. James D says the Sauce pick, one of the best draft picks the Jets ever had. Hard to argue that through 9 games of his career so far. A good citizen found me 2 years ago. Definitely a top Jets analyst. Love that. Thank you. Hennessy asked Matt, where do you think every team in the division will finish? It's going to be a tight race, I think. Yeah, if I had to guess, I'm going to say Buffalo probably figures out a way to win the division. But why don't we do this? So Miami is 7-3 going into the bye. They have Texans, 49ers, Chargers, Bills, Packers, Pats, Jets. Maybe they have 7 wins right now. I think they're probably going 12-5. They lose to Buffalo, San Francisco, and maybe one more in here. I have the Jets losing. I have them splitting. So 12-5. Buffalo, let's see what their remaining schedule. Actually, why don't I just do this? They had their bye already, and they have Cleveland, Detroit, Patriots, Jets, Dolphins, Bears, Bengals, Patriots. Maybe they lose one, maybe 2 more games. So they are probably 13-4 or 12-5. Jets have at 11-6. And then let's see here. Pats might lose 3 in a row. The Jets, Vikings, and Bills. Those are 3 tough games. I'll say the Pats end up going 8-9 and finish in 4th. So Jets 3 right behind Miami, I guess. So they will be the 6th seed. You think we make the playoffs at 10-7, or do we need 11 wins? Only need to go 4-4 for 10. I think 10 will get you in, but I don't think you're going to be the 5 or the 6 seed. I think if you get 10 wins, you might be the 7th seed at that spot. It's really dependent on what happens with New England. Actually, why don't we pull that back up? The playoff picture depends on how hot other teams get. But right now, wrong. I shared the wrong tab. That's the Pat schedule. If you scroll on down, the Jets are the 5, the Bills are the 6, Pats are 7, Chargers are 8, Bengals are 9. It's really going to be a fight between the Bengals, the Chargers, the Pats, the Bills, the Jets, and the Dolphins. Those 6 teams for those last 3 spots, and obviously, 4 really, because one team's going to win the division. So you have the AFC East winner, and then these teams, potentially Miami as well, fighting it out for the final spots. My guess is Bills end up being the 2, Miami 5, Jets 6, and either the Chargers or the Bengals as the 7 spot. Lean Chargers, but that's my take right now. Hennessy says the division will definitely come down to week 18. Yeah, it's going to be tight. All these teams, I think, are going to be incredibly tight. Hennessy says he thinks 12 wins takes the division. Okay. That seems pretty reasonable. Jay Nasty wants to see a Jets Giants Super Bowl. I think New York would be lit on fire. JK says nothing would be better than beating the Dolphins last week with Tua and shut up the we would have won with Tua idiots. Yeah, I agree with that. They're rolling right now. But I would love to beat that Miami team. Dolphins could lose 4 straight right there and put the team in shambles. That's true. Let's see what else we got in here. Thomas says it's so nice to have hope again. That's true. Hennessy 2015 team 10-6 and missed the playoffs by a game. That was soul crushing. Good Citizen saying, I think they're going to need 11. Hennessy goes back and says Chargers will choke. They seem to always choke. They did it just last year. Don't want to play Buffalo or Kansas City as a 7 seed, so I'll take the 6. I'm with you. James D says, I want to hear a pin drop in Gillette. Ding. That'd be nice. If we had a Subway Super Bowl series, it would literally be the most incredible sports moment for New York history. I think, yeah, obviously the baseball teams have done it in their history, but could you imagine these teams meeting up? Nope. Can't spell choke without CH Chargers. Oh God. VR says as long as Super Bowl is not at MetLife, LOL. That's true. James D says, "Oh yeah, you know it, Matt O'Leary. I want the Jets to bring the pain this year." This is great. Raymond's hanging. He says managing our expectations will help us appreciate their performances. Loss to New England was so devastating because the Jets were on such a great winning streak. That's true. And it'll feel so much better if they come out and win this game this upcoming week against the New England Patriots. That'd make things feel a lot better. We have time for a few more. Get in any last minute questions, comments, concerns that you have in here. Austin says Elijah Moore plus or minus 5 catches versus New England. I'm going to take the under there. I think he should be more involved, but has there been a game all year where he's had 5 catches? Yeah, he did. The first week of the year, he had 5, then 3, 4, 3, 1, 0, 0. Nothing against Buffalo. I'm going to say 3 catches for Elijah Moore. Raymond says, let's ramp up expectations again. Amen. Let's go. Lucas says, get the likes up for our man, Matt. Yes, before we head out, please leave a like on the video. Takes a second. If you're not subscribed, please sub up. Justin's predicting 27-16 Jets. A W. I love it. Right now, I'm at, I'll say 23-14 Jets right now. Hennessy think Elijah is going to get traded in the offseason. Predictions for Jets Pats? Yeah, I'll say 23-14. Maybe lower. Maybe 13. 1 touchdown and a couple of field goals for the Pats. Maybe 13. Oh, Dre says Zach will go 24 or 30, 305 yards, three touchdowns, 2 touchdowns to Wilson, 1 touchdown to Mims. I hope so. I don't think they're going to throw the ball that much. Well, 30 times, but the 24 of 30, what is that completion percentage wise? That would be insane. That would be a phenomenal day. What a turnaround. That'd be an 80% completion percentage. I'll take like 20 of 30 for maybe like 210 yards, something like that, 215. Sign me up for that. VR says 2017 Jets win. Field goal win? I'm in. I'm in on that, baby. Hennessy wants 1 Zach touchdown pass, no picks. That's a reasonable expectation. Raymond says, amen. Let's go. I love it. Things you just absolutely love to see. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys. On a Monday, we'll be back tomorrow. As I said, video with Justin in the morning. Then we have the Jet Report coming to you live at 2 p.m. Whole lot of fun coming your way. Thank you so much for hanging. I'm Matt O'Leary. We'll catch you next time.